Hello, my name is Dr. Pedi Obani. I'm an associate professor in the School of Law, University of Bradford, and I was recently awarded a Future Leaders Fellowship by the UK ROI for my research on climate change, specifically focusing on how to make climate governance more inclusive from a gender perspective. I'm also a mom of two, and I'm a town councillor. Within the town council, I chair the Committee on Climate Emergency and Environment, which really seeks to understand how climate change affects women, but beyond that, how women also impact on the climate, because I think it's not a linear situation we have where women are affected. We have a situation where women constantly are involved in activities which contribute to climate change as well, and these activities need to be understood, acknowledged and addressed appropriately so that we don't get into a situation where we're having a transition away from fossil fuels but at the expense of the women and other members of the population who are dependent on fossil fuels and other contributors to climate change. So I'm really keen to understand how these interactions work, or the intersections between women's development, women's rights, women's well-being and climate change. But I'm really also focused on going beyond vulnerability, because a lot of the times we talk about women being vulnerable, but I think there's more to the story than women's vulnerability. Women can be active, indeed active change agents, and I think it's about time for us to recognize women's agency in the climate change discourse and appreciate but also integrate women's contributions in making climate governance more inclusive. So this research is about understanding those interactions between women and the climate, and also trying to understand the pathways through which we can make climate governance more inclusive from a gender perspective. Whilst we're starting out with women, I'd like to think that the strategies, the frameworks and the tools we come up with in this research will go a long way to understanding how other members of the community who are either excluded or marginalized or indeed vulnerable are included within the climate governance process. Interestingly, this research goes beyond one country, so it's a multi-country study, and we'll be looking at Nigeria, Kenya and South Africa. Each of these countries has a unique perspective in terms of their intersections or contributions to climate governance, both at the national level and at the global level. So we're hoping that by looking at these different countries and their context, we can gain new knowledge which can be synthesized and strengthen our knowledge base around climate governance. At the early stages of this, because the research has only just started in October 2024 and it's going to last for 4 years. So at this point, I'm calling on everyone who has an interest in climate change, in inclusive development, in sustainability, in women